To probe a posterior tooth, you will insert the probe at the line angle. Keep the probe parallel to the surface that you're working on. Move the probe in 1 millimeter walking strokes and bobbing strokes. Continue into the proximal space until the middle third of the probe is blocked by the contact. At this point, tilt the probe into the call area and evaluate the reading. You should then reinsert at the distal line angle and continue to evaluate the circumference of the tooth by working across the straight buccal. Keep the probe parallel to the surface that you're working on. You may need to move your fulcrum position when working on a molar tooth, as it is a wide tooth. Once you get to the line angle, you should be again changing your adaptation to evaluate the mesial portion of the tooth, keeping the probe parallel to the surface that you're working on and continuing to work in 1 millimeter bobbing strokes. Continue to advance the probe on the mesial surface until blocked by the contact again. Tilt the probe underneath the call, evaluate the reading. You can then progress to the next tooth. Again, inserting at the distal line angle, 1 millimeter bobbing strokes, working into the proximal space, tilt under the call. Reinsert, distal line angle, 1 millimeter bobbing strokes, keeping the probe parallel, and continuing to adjust your adaptation with each stroke. Go as far as you can into the proximal, reach underneath the call, evaluate the reading. You might notice that your adaptation must change dramatically, working from the distal around to the buccal and ending at the mesial. Some people can see this by the back of the probe is pointing away from the surface that you are working on. In other words, it should not be straight vertical. It should be parallel to the surface that you're working on.